Happy Friday.
You're live.
Picked up a like and we just started, babe. Or maybe it went down. I don't know. I can't tell.
It could have been.
Happy Friday, you guys.
It moved.
It did move. It moved. I'm Jenny.
Hi, Jeremy.
And we're here at Copper Bottom Craft Distillery in Holly Hill.
And we're sitting today.
Things are looking a little different today on this Friday. Not gonna kid you, I woke up feeling it. Like, this is gonna be a good day. All Fridays should be like this one.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been busy already this morning. Had a lot of stuff going on. Nothing I could really talk about, but yeah, I had a lot of stuff going on.
Ooh.
No, yeah.
That's behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes stuff, yeah. It's lots of stuff, but I don't know what to do with my phone all of a sudden. I don't know.
So we have been, you may be tired of hearing about the hand sanitizer, but things are still cooking around here, okay? We've got, can we talk about yesterday?
Well, that was part of it, what was going on this morning. I don't know that it's good to.
You look
I don't
like
know.
you're struggling.
I know I am struggling. I don't know what to do with my phone. Anyway, no.
No?
Not. Well, no.
There's a local company that has made, they're like mechanical dispensers. What do you call them?
Yeah, mechanical dispensers. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing mechanical hand sanitizer dispensers, and they are so cool. And they just built them in their shop. And once I get that clear from this guy, then I'll post about it on Facebook. But
yeah,
it was so cool. We got to take a tour of it yesterday, and that's not at all what they do by day, and they totally pivoted.
Kind of like we do.
Yeah, and it was day 14 yesterday, and I was like, oh, I remember those days. Day 14. That was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, but no, that's, yeah, so actually, yeah, still got more ongoing conversations, but we could be a supplier for them, so.
Yeah, that would be super
Because
exciting.
they're making the machines, we're making hand sanitizer, so we're trying to work things out.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I got to tell you, I was down at the beach this morning, and people are there.
You're down at the beach, huh?
You know, I said every Friday should be like this Friday, living my best life. I got in like a killer workout, and then I just went and pounded pavement, sand, pounded sand, and
that's a whole different expression.
and I watched this guy.
Go pound sand.
I watched this guy like reeling in. Oh, he was like there forever before I even showed up. There's a group of probably like 40 or 50 people all behind him, watching him just on the shore, reeling it in. Oh, something's fighting him. He's been fighting him. And all of a sudden, I see this little fin, and I'm like, that's a stingray.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big stingray, and they're like, no, it's a shark. It's a shark. He's been fighting this thing for so long, and I was
Stingrays
like,
fight.
I was like, all right, I'll place my bet. I'll stand here and wait. And it probably was another 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden you see both wings come up, and I was like, boom, nailed it. I'm the sister of a fisherman, the daughter of a fisherman. I know a stingray when I see one. And all the guys were like, oh yeah, you called that, you win.
Do you want to see if we're live?
Oh, that probably would be.
You know, just in case, because, you know, it seems like this happens sometimes.
Okay, he's going to be like this today, y'all. Welcome.
Well, I'm just saying, sometimes it happens.
We're totally live. And Ron is on, so now we can officially start.
Oh, we can start now.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Ron. Hi, Scott. He's at Sea Tunes. Is that here, locally? Scott, tell us where you are. Good morning. Hi, Joe. Oh, Joe is waiting for Erin.
Erin is here.
Erin is totally here. Erin, are you ready?
Come on in.
This is our friend Erin Taylor. Erin, come on in. Here, let's see. Can I see you well? You're gonna have to get comfy. Get comfy.
All right, come on, Jeremy.
No, we're good.
Let's be buddies.
We got it.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Cheers.
Guys, this is wonderful.
This is our friend Erin Taylor from Ormond Bee Company. Hello.
Morning.
Jeremy spilled the beans last week about our little experiment, and so I figured it would be the perfect opportunity to have Erin come on and tell us all about what she does. Jeremy, seriously?
Well,
I told you I didn't know what to do
What
with
did
the
you
phone.
tell them last week? What exactly did you tell them?
Well, I told them that we would be working together on doing an experimental honey spirit. And I told them this kind of led to, hey, she brought in all kinds of different honeys, and we tried some things, and yeah, so... Sorry, maybe I shouldn't have said all that, but...
I was excited about it, but right now it's in the experiment phase.
Yeah,
so I didn't want to get people excited and think that they're going to come pick up honey spirit this afternoon.
Oh, it's not going to be anytime soon. Well, I mean, it might be, but I don't know. So it's an experiment. We're trying it, but you know, local company. We figured we'd try it out and see how it turns out.
And so, Erin, first of all, tell us what you're drinking.
I am drinking a mule, Moscow Mule, and it is delightful. It is so light. I actually said to her, I'm like, you know, you could put a little bit more in there. She said, no, there's plenty.
Yeah, I didn't hold
there.
back.
So it's
It
delicious.
just blends, the vodka, our copper bottom vodka blends really well.
Does.
It's excellent.
It
I mean,
hides.
it's so smooth.
It hides, but it does the trick, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, like I said,
So it's
you
in
don't
there.
want me telling twisted childhood stories.
No.
Remember
Not yet.
that time?
Okay, so tell us, first of all, tell us about Ormond Bee Company, how you started it, where you started it. Give us the lowdown.
Well, I have been a beekeeper for about 12 years now. And I started beekeeping with my mom, actually. My grandmother was a beekeeper back in the 60s. And then we watched a documentary about the disappearance of the bees and colony collapse disorder. And I've always been about nature. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's horrible. And realizing how important bees are to our ecosystem. I mean, they're so very important. So we went to bee college.
That's a thing?
It's a
Bee
thing.
college.
It's
That's
through
cool.
the University of Florida.
Woo! Go Gators.
Right. And it's an incredible program. They've been doing it, gosh, I don't even know how many years now. So when I first got into it, and we went to bee college, and then we were involved in local bee clubs, the majority of the people were farmers and retired people. But now, it's crazy. It's because it's become, I hate to say this, but it's become trendy.
Yeah.
So now there are so many, you know, much younger people, hipsters, all that kind of thing, which is great. Hey, the more the merrier. Let's get them out there and, you know, help save the planet kind of thing. So that's how long I've been beekeeping, and then I like to call it slinging honey. I've been slinging honey for about, gosh, probably 6-7 years, but it's just been over the past few years that I got serious about it, and then it's just been over the past 2 years that I actually rebranded and started to take it a little more seriously. I'm a little fly by the seat of my pants.
Which, by the way, the branding on this is beautiful.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, it really is.
That's one of the things we commented on first thing was like, wow, she's got the branding down.
No doubt.
It's
I mean,
great.
it took me a solid year, and I collaborated with some amazing people, Brittany Lowe, Jules Bodie. I mean, it was a team.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like, back to the drawing board, this, that, and then finally it was like, that's it. That's the ticket. So, and now we're just kind of off and running. I mean, still very small, but I got high hopes, like high in the sky apple pie hopes.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
High
open.
in the
It's
sky apple pie. You hear that, people?
Uh-huh.
You can use that.
open. Fancy.
Heather says she wants to come by this morning and drink with us. Heather, we're waiting on you.
Well,
I'll leave the light on for you.
yeah, but not really. No, I can't drink all day.
We open in 17 minutes.
Really?
Chris Sears Wright says, hi, Erin.
Hi, how are you doing, Chris?
Maureen says she hopes this experiment works out. I would love to get my honey and my vodka in one stop.
Ah.
Not only would you get it in one stop, Maureen, but you would get it in one drink.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we go into that, tell us what you have here today. Like, what did you bring?
Okay, so we have an assortment of varieties. You'll
They're
see
amazing.
these two here. These are both wildflower, which you say, well, that doesn't make any sense because the colors are so different from one another. This is actually a spring wildflower. So bees travel within a 2 to 3 mile radius. So when they go out to forage, they're gathering nectar and pollen, and they're gathering from whatever it is that's blooming. So things that bloom in the spring are different than things that bloom in the summer, that are different than things that bloom in the fall. So a lot of times that has to deal with color, which clearly that's the case. Now these two, even though they're both wildflowers, so these bees went on a 2 to 3 mile, run to gather things, but it's different, it's different. So, and because it's different times of the year, they taste completely different, do they not?
They do, absolutely.
I mean, it's crazy.
I'm about to try it.
You would think that this dark one is, you would think it would taste darker, but actually this one is a lot heavier and has a little bit more of a bite at the end of it. And the darker one is very sweet, super sweet, which is delicious. This is actually my favorite one.
Is the viscosity, like the thickness, different as well?
Absolutely.
That's what I thought.
I don't know why, but the spring wildflower is a lot heavier. A lot. Because he's using big words.
Science.
Viscosity.
Science. It's easy.
That's right. Scientist.
Science. So now, do you know, like, what is it that's the color? Is it just the pollen that they're using? Is that what changes the color?
It's the pollen. It's the flora. I mean, if you think about it, so when you pay attention to a hive and you watch the activity, you'll see that when the bees come in, especially in this time of year, because everything is blooming.
Oh yeah.
So they are working their little wings off. And this is another fact that sometimes in this time of the year when it's so busy, some of the bees, they work so hard because they're constantly going out and foraging and coming back that they will actually die because they're just working so hard and they're just
work themselves to death.
Those little wings, and then they just are like, and die. That's sad.
That's sad.
But they're doing it for a good cause. I mean, they're workers. They are born to work. That's what they do. When they are born, they have a job. They know the job, and that's just what they do. You know. What was the other question that you asked me?
No, that was it.
Something about viscosity.
No. I just assumed that was.
Oh no, you said about color. So yeah. When you watch the bees and you see, they get these little pollen packs that they bring back. So when they go to the bloom, and they'll nudge all around in there, and they've got these little kind of little, not prickers, but like little sticky things on the side of their legs, and the pollen sticks to it. So when they come back to the hive, you'll see it looks like they got like Cheetos stuck on the side of them. And they're different colors. I mean, it will range from white to bright orange to like a beautiful golden yellow to sometimes even brown. And that's because if you think about it, they're going to all these different flowers and the pollen inside of them is different colors. So that then makes,
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to kid you. The other day there was an episode of Wild Kratts, which is like a PBS Kids show.
Oh, I was like, I don't know that one.
Wild Kratts, yeah, where they like get to transport and become animals. It's kind of like Magic School Bus, but it's these two brothers. Anyway, and there was a whole episode on like how bees pollinate, and I was like, okay, taking notes, like gonna bring my stuff.
Show
like,
notes.
I'm gonna act so educated when we get into this.
Show notes.
Nothing stuck.
No.
But yeah, that's what was happening. Is like the bee was getting all covered and then going to the next thing. It was really cool.
And so what they do is then they take that pollen and they gather the pollen, but they also gather nectar. Nectar is more of like a juice as opposed to a solid. So they take that back to the hive and they take the pollen and they make what's called bee bread. And so they pack the cells with it, and you can see it on frame, and it's so beautiful. It's like all these different, beautiful oranges and reds and yellows. And then they make this bee bread, and that's what they feed the babies.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and then, it's just, everyone works together. It's such an interesting social situation. I mean, from the queen to the drones to the workers to all of it. And seeing a baby bee be born, like hatch actually.
That's pretty cool.
It's the coolest thing because you see, and she'll start to like chew. You can see her try to chew out of the cell because they cap the cell, and then it's like an egg, when an egg is in the incubation. And so then they chew it out and they stick their head out 100 times, and their sisters come and they're like, "Come on, you can do it, come on!" And then finally they bust themselves out, and you can see it's like they're just born. They're real fuzzy, and they're confused. They don't know what they're doing, and
That's
then
funny.
it's the coolest thing. It's
That's
the
funny.
coolest thing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And being able to identify a queen, that's awesome too.
Really?
She looks completely different than
What makes a queen
Oh,
a
boy.
queen?
So what makes a queen is
Tell me.
royal jelly, actually.
Royal jelly.
So it's actually the worker bees that make the queen. So I'm going to try to say this in a quick way so I don't, take over this whole conversation, because I'll talk for days about this. So let's start from the beginning when there's no queen for whatever, like they've swarmed. So the queen, she lays the eggs. So she's the only one that lays the eggs. She's laying them. Well, if the current queen is not doing a good job, if she's old or if she's just not a good layer or whatever the case may be.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. I wasn't saying anything. Nope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Y'all saw that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I don't know what happened.
Nothing
but it wasn't
happened.
nice.
Nothing happened at all.
And for the record, that's not what he said this morning. So
Yes, that's great. That's great.
sorry, I shouldn't have said
So
that.
anyway, if she's not doing a good job, then it's the worker bees that say, she's out
Time
of
to
here.
go.
So what they do is, for all of the eggs that she lays, after they hatch, they are fed royal jelly by the workers for 3 days.
So after they hatch.
After they hatch, yeah. So they feed these babies. All babies get royal jelly for 3 days. But then the ones that they're not going to make a queen, that are just regular, then they feed them the bee bread, they do all that. But the ones that they are going to make a queen, they will continue to feed that royal jelly. So that little worm in there, the larva, it's basically just marinating in this royal jelly, which has unbelievable properties. But it also has the property of making her say the word, like, not fertilize, so that she can have
produce eggs, or
well, no, because like the worker bees can produce it. It gives her the ability to be able to have the babies.
Okay.
Let's just say that. Yeah. There's another word, and I should know this. Maybe
you do.
It's
Probably.
Told you I didn't
It's
hold
Jenny's
back.
fault.
Yes, you did not.
It's already working.
So then what they do is, if that's a queen cell, you can actually tell the difference from a regular cell, a brood cell, as opposed to a queen cell, because the way that they build it, it starts to build out. So you've seen like a frame and it's flat, but with a queen cell, they build it down so that it almost looks like a peanut, and it hangs down, but it's filled with royal jelly. And so then...
So the queens get the royal jelly.
So the queens get the royal jelly, and then the reproductive, that's the word.
Yeah.
Reproductive qualities. Now here's the even crazier thing. So they won't make just one, because they don't know. What if
that person sucks?
Exactly. So they want to make sure that they do a few of them. They're like, okay, we'll do this one, this one, this one, this one. So then because they all are about the same age, they want to start hatching at the same time. So the first one that hatches, she makes this chirping sound, and all of the other queen cells that haven't hatched yet, they make the chirping sound. And then the queen goat, that one that emerges first, she goes and she stings all those cells and kills the other ones.
No!
So that she's the only queen. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What a unkind woman.
She's like, listen,
Queen bee.
this is my job.
Wow,
Yeah.
brutal.
It's really, it's so interesting to see how everything in that hive works, because really the queen is not in charge. So once she's born, once she emerges, then she's a virgin still. So she has to get fertilized. So then she goes on what's called her virgin flight. So she'll go out, she leaves the hive by herself, and there are so many, like dragonflies love queen bees. So there's a lot of times where they won't even make it back to the hive. But there's also these drone packs. Drones are the males. And they really don't do a damn thing in the hive. Their sisters feed them, they clean them, they do all of that. They don't do anything. All they do is gather in these packs, and they go out and they hang up in the air, almost like a nightclub for dudes. And they wait for these virgin queens to come, and then she mates with as many of them as she can. And then she's nice and fulled up. And then she goes back to the hive and spends the rest of her days just laying eggs.
Wow.
Now, the only other time she will leave is if she decides they want to swarm. And the reason why that happens is, especially this time of year when there's so much activity, there's all these eggs, all these babies are being built, all this new population, there's so much flora out there that they're gathering. So then it's like, okay, well, I'm jam up in here. So she sends out a signal that says, I'm feeling cramped.
Let's go.
And they say, okay, so then they start making a new queen, and then she takes half the hive, and they hit the road and find a new house.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's all I gotta do is be like, I'm feeling cramped.
I'm feeling cramped, Jeremy.
I'm used to that
Let's see
too.
if we have any questions.
That'll be your new phrase.
Oh, Heather, I saw that. I'm not gonna read that one aloud. Jenna and Jax. They said good one, Jenny. Let's see if anybody has any questions. So Heather said, I make my own elderberry, so I'm always looking for local honey. What kind of honey does she recommend for that? Also, can Erin go over her prices?
You know, I think with it, because I have another friend that makes the elderberry syrup, and I think that she ended up using the dark wildflower, and it was amazing. Megan Harper, amazing. It really, I think, is based on taste. I don't know if the viscosity has anything to do with it in making elderberry syrup. I've never made it.
Well, a lot of people, don't they use it for medicinal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you want, just me thinking, I mean, just the science part of it, I would say you'd probably want some kind of wildflower, right? Just
Yeah,
because,
I definitely wouldn't use the mangrove. I would use either the wildflower or the all season.
Because I would think, actually, now that you say the all season, I would think all season, just because you're getting pollen all year round from all different types of things, and that's going to help boost your immune system.
Yeah.
So if it was just me thinking outside, just not knowing anything about this, I would think all season.
That would make sense.
Right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Or wildflower, but either one. But I would think this one would probably be.
Well, you're right, because this has
From all year
the
round,
pollen
right?
all year. Yeah.
So if you're using it to try to boost your immune system with, pollen and all that, I would think all season.
Well, and I know that the all season, that is when allergy season's bad.
That's the one.
That
And I think that's what a lot of people are going to
right
use, like the
there.
elderberry stuff for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would think all season.
Yeah, it just keeps those.
Glad I could help in some way or another.
See, look at this guy.
Doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. Hey, Joe wants to know, when is a good time for Brazilian pepper honey? He's always wanted to try that.
Oh, Brazilian pepper is really good, actually.
Really?
Brazil.
It's an invasive species.
It's
though.
a very invasive.
I try to kill them everywhere I can.
Jeremy.
I do.
You're not supposed to say that.
No,
People
I
don't
had.
write letters.
No, literally, we had one in the backyard, and I did everything I could to kill it because it is an invasive.
And it's even still difficult to kill.
Yeah, even that. It took everything. I tried for a couple of years to. I finally think I got rid of it, but it took a lot of digging and a lot of years. And I'm not going to say anything else about it, but it took a lot to get it out of there.
And you finally did.
Yeah.
I mean, those things will take over your
Yeah, they're not. It's not good.
But the honey is nice. It's
Really?
so light. It's as light as this mangrove.
Really?
But it has a completely different taste. It's sweet. You would think because it's Brazilian pepper that it would have like a spice to it. Not at all.
Really?
And the cool thing is when you hold it up to the light, it almost has like this like a neon lime color.
Really?
What? Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I'll have to have you guys.
All right, I won't
try
kill it all.
Yeah.
Just the ones in my yard.
Yeah, exactly. Just the ones in your yard. You get it from somebody else's yard.
From somebody else's yard.
Uh-huh.
Mark Ashley said of the queen bee, there can be only one.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that. Ron wants to know too, where can they purchase your honey?
Great question.
So I have a website, ormondbeecompany.com. That's the first place. And then there are a few places around town that sell it. Nature's Harvest in Ormond, Multivella in Ormond. Why Not did, but I don't know if they're still in business. I don't know. Health Nut Cafe that's over on Beachside by the Ocean Center. Antos Chiropractic that is in Daytona off Health Boulevard.
Really?
And I know that there's someplace else.
But so we do have a lot of people who are out of state as well, but so they can go to your website and order, right?
Oh yeah,
and
we
you ship it to them.
We ship. And we also do free delivery for local.
Local, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very
so
cool.
People, especially through this whole pandemic,
Oh gosh, yeah.
they have loved that because one, all the stores were closed. But two, with people not wanting to leave their house, it worked out so well because we would just go and,
Drop it.
I mean, like ring the bell and
See you later.
dip. And,
And you did a cool thing for Valentine's Day with Ashley at Simply Roses.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so we did our little 9-ounce jars like this, and it was just the wildflower, and she paired it with roses, so it was like honey for your honey kind of thing.
Nice.
And it was really cute. I don't know how well it did.
But it was cute.
That's very cool though.
Yeah, and every year we try to do something different, especially around Valentine's Day. Like last year, we teamed up with Sappho chocolates. I don't know if you guys have ever had Sappho chocolates, but they are,
Have we?
beyond a shadow of a doubt,
I wouldn't know until.
the best chocolate in this area, no doubt. It's all, all of their chocolate is high end. It's single sourced and top notch. But we did some experiments like this,
Yeah.
and they ended up making, I think they're called cordials, but no, because cordials have liquor in them.
Yeah.
But they were
Almost like truffles.
like truffles. Yeah. So they were the dark chocolate. I think they were 60% dark chocolate, and they had the wildflower, but then they also had the wildflower elixir in it. So imagine if you've got this dark chocolate, which is great for you anyway. And then with this put in it that has all of the different spices that are the anti-inflammatory.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I have not seen this one yet.
No.
You sell that?
I sell this, but I don't sell it on the website.
Sorry.
that's
Locals only elixir. Hold
Yeah,
on.
it's the
We need to
wildflower
taste test because people need to know what they're going to be looking for. What is available like right now on your site?
Right now on my, okay, so I have 3 different sizes. I have the 24 ounce, I have the 12 ounce, and the 6 ounce, right? 6, 12, yeah. And I always I'm not good at math.
I understand.
I struggle with that, I really do. And then, so I have the 3 different sizes. The 24 ounce is $27, the 16 ounce is $18, and then the 6 ounce is $11. And they come, the varieties that I have right now are the dark wildflower, I have the light wildflower, the all season, and the mangrove. Now I have the wildflower elixir, I just don't put it, it's just not on the website.
Yeah, so this is different. So tell me what's different about this one, because I'm looking at these other
Hold
ones.
on, I think we need
Okay,
to
maybe
build
should I
up to
not?
that because this has so much going on. I feel like we need to do a little sample, and we're actually supposed to be open right now.
Yes, we don't have a lot of time. That's why I was. But we. I mean,
All right,
we can.
tell us about
no,
the
no, no,
elixir. No, it's fine. Tell us about the elixir.
No, I mean, if
Go
somebody
on.
comes to the door, I'll open it, or I'll go somewhere else. But I can take care of people. So yeah, if you want to go down the line, that's fine. I just haven't seen this before, and this is
tasted
very.
it?
No, this is very interesting.
Okay,
to me.
taste it.
Oh,
It's
interesting,
amazing.
all right.
Is it
I'm
really?
gonna have it again. Yeah,
You've tried it already?
I did.
What in the world? Where was I?
I don't know.
Now,
Oh,
now,
I was
know
probably,
something.
probably
now, like I
setting all this
said,
up.
choose courage. Like, get in there. Don't be wimpy. Like,
Oh
get
no,
in
I'm
there.
getting in there.
I chose courage, by the way, which is what she says. I
did?
chose courage, and I registered for your yoga class tomorrow.
Are you?
I did.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I
did,
yeah.
yes. I'm gonna need a sitter.
Oh. Here we go.
9:30, 10:45.
9:30 in the
I'm gonna
morning.
kick your ass, but you're gonna love it.
Hold on.
That is very different.
Is that not
Sorry.
sensational?
Speak amongst
It's
yourself.
fantastic. Okay, so this, I wish you could see it up close, you guys. It has got all kinds of fun, funky looking
like a
stuff going on
marmalade.
in there. Yeah, like a marmalade. All right, so say again, what is in this?
It's ginger, turmeric, orange zest, and black pepper. Which
It's
is, like I said,
unbelievable.
anti-inflammatory,
Yeah, that's kinda crazy.
antioxidant. Not to
Now, why
mention
don't you
it's
sell
low-
this on your website?
Because I don't think you say this on this, but I should be using dried spices, but I used fresh spices. So I dried them out for a little bit, but I just need, I need to have better, labeling,
Really?
details on that.
Okay,
Which I'm,
well, this is amazing.
yeah.
The mangrove, I also highly recommend. Can I dive
Yeah.
into that? So I love this one, and I didn't know why I loved it, and she pointed it out at our last gathering. Jeremy had to go help somebody. We're wrapping up. So this mangrove, first of all, it's a lot more like liquid than the others. Why is that just?
It's just a thin honey. It crystallizes pretty easy. Like if there's a temperature change, if the temperature goes
Oh
down,
my gosh.
like in the wintertime, this will very easily crystallize.
This is.
If it does crystallize, and if it's in a plastic jar, that's a whole different deal. But if it's in a glass jar, all you have to do is just put it outside on a really sunny day, and it'll break down those crystals and it'll liquefy it again. Or you can put it in warm water. You do not want to heat up honey past, it's like 117, 119 degrees, because if you do that, then what it does is it kills all the good stuff that you eat local honey for. And something else that I like to tell people that seems to really help. So a lot of times when people are taking honey for allergies, or they're taking honey for all of the benefits that it has, they're like, well, I put it in my tea, or so if you put it in your tea, basically what you're doing is you are taking a tea bag and you're taking boiling water and pouring it into a cup, and then, well, that water is so hot that it's boiling the honey too, and so it kills everything. So then you're just eating honey syrup. So what the best thing to do is when you're using your tea, to let it steep for a few minutes, you know, wait till it's not steamy, and then put your honey in. But then also if you're looking to use honey for the benefits, the best thing to do is about 15 or 20 minutes before you eat or drink anything in the morning on an empty stomach.
Really?
To take a spoonful. Yeah, because if you think about it, then it's being able to get directly into your bloodstream, you know, and it doesn't have to compete with anything else in there, any food or drink. I mean, because it's great on oatmeal, it's great in your smoothies and all that, but it offers so many benefits, and you kind of cut that every time you add something to it, you cut that.
And so I know, like, my dad is the one that takes a spoonful of honey every morning, and that's with it being local and the allergies and everything, that's what makes it so great.
Yeah.
So, like, getting a little plastic bear honey,
no.
Does that personally offend you?
Yes. Yes. I'm not a big fan of plastic anyway. I mean, I refuse to use plastic, but I just, and you know, it's not to say that there is not great local raw honey in plastic bottles. There are. I prefer the glass.
Right. But when you come across one in the grocery store and it's in the little plastic honey bear, that is not this.
No.
This is not that.
That is not this. No. And the other thing is a lot of times they won't even say where it's from. It'll say product of the USA. Okay. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why, I mean, yes, I'm going to say, you know, support local because I'm a local business, but also to support local because this is what our area tastes like. How cool is it if you think about it like that, you know?
Babe, this is what our area tastes like.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Make sale.
Yo. So I can't get in here now.
That's a really cool thought.
Yeah.
This is what our area tastes like. I got a phone call yesterday from somebody. They, you know, wanted to go over all these different amendments and do I plan on voting and the whole thing. And
Really? You got one of those calls?
I did, and
I never get those.
Yeah, I got one, and
They don't want to talk to me.
No, they don't. The person on the other line was like, you know, do you think that Daytona Beach is, you know, how do you think that they're handling all this COVID and da-da-da? And I have just never been more proud to answer those questions. Like, I feel like we are doing what we're supposed to be doing right now amid this pandemic, and I just was really proud of Volusia County, Flagler County, like proud of our area. And I don't know, I just think what you said is so cool. This is what our area tastes like.
Think about
these are the business owners in our area, you know. It's so cool.
What other product can you think of that you could use that statement to? Like, this is what our area tastes like. This is from our environment, you know. Everything that blooms around here.
This is our salt air. This is our that is so our soil.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it's funny. It actually is funny you say that. Even and this is to admittedly a lesser extent. Our aged spirits kind of have a similar aspect. When you age spirits in a specific area, they take on that environment. You've got the salt air, the humidity, even the barometric pressures in the area. Even our aged rums, that's what this area tastes like. If we took that exact rum, put it in a barrel, took it somewhere else, it would taste different.
Really?
It would. And it's partially, you know, it could be the exact same rum, the exact same barrel, taken to a different area because of the environment around it. It's kind of that terroir effect that you get with spirits. But admittedly, I would think even to a more extent when it comes to the honey, because you're literally grabbing stuff from the environment. But to a lesser extent, like I said, the humidity, the salt air, the pressures, all kinds of different things.
Well, and even the elements. I mean, you know, even the elements that are in the air.
Yep.
That makes such sense. So what better collaboration to
See,
have?
that's why we're doing it.
Yes. All right, so we really don't have much time left. Deb says hi from up north.
See, we get people from up north. That's why I said go to your website, because you can get it shipped.
Yeah, definitely check out the website. And you can always email me if you have questions, you know, anything.
Deb says she is an aged spirit and she should bottle herself.
Oh,
that's
that was real sweet.
Everybody
Deb's
wants
awesome.
to try the elixir. Okay, so very last thing, Jerome, tell us about this experiment, babe.
Yeah, so we're gonna take. Was it this one?
It's this one.
This one. Okay.
No, that's the mangrove.
It's this
It's
one.
that
The
one.
It's this
wildflower.
one, yep.
Yeah, so we're taking the spring wildflower, and we're going to ferment that very soon. As soon as I get a chance to get it out of the tank.
This mangrove is
It's very good.
unbelievable.
But yeah, so I'm going to get that, and we're going to ferment it. We're going to distill it, and we're going to do a little honey spirit, and I'm excited about it. Yeah, the cool thing is, and I don't know if you guys were talking about this or doing this when I left, but trying some of our spirits next to this is really pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it really it pulls. When I was here last time,
Yeah.
and we were doing the tastings, it was crazy how when you tasted that with the honey, how it pulled it right out.
Pulls it right out, yeah. So because I've done some experiments in the past with some honey spirits, and we got some really interesting results. So we brought some of those out. We did some little sampling with it. I'm really excited to see what your honey does with the spirit that we make. Yeah, we're gonna do some cool things. I'm
Yeah.
excited about it. We're gonna do some aging on it a little bit, just to get some flavor and some color out of it. So yeah, I'm excited. We've got it back there. It's sitting there, ready to go. I just have to clean out a tank long enough that I can get it going.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be so cool.
And we'll probably do a very, very, very limited release on it because it won't be much.
Right.
But we'll do a very limited release. If we release it at all, we might just do some samplings of it and say, what do you think? I mean, you'll get some. Don't
Yeah.
worry about that. But yeah, no, we'll do something, and we're not exactly sure what we're going to do with it yet, but we're going to try it out first to see what happens and go from there.
Jason wants to know how many bees it takes to do like 1 ounce of honey.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
See, that's my brother, so he's going to give you a question like that.
Is he?
Yeah, that's my brother.
So one honeybee throughout its entire life makes, and there's an actual equation for it, but it's basically like a drop.
Come on.
So I swear.
Wow.
I mean, and
That
I,
sucks.
if we had more time, I would actually look it up and like read, because it's like a quote to say exactly. But one honeybee throughout her entire life is like a drop that she makes.
Wow.
And if you think about, so how many bees it took to make just these jars right
A few
here?
jars, yeah.
Lots.
Wow.
Tell them I'll get them the exact.
We'll get you the number.
It's kind of funny that honey is truly like one of my absolute favorite things in the whole wide world because my phobia of bees, of all things that fly and sting, is
You have no idea, people.
unhealthy. It's unhealthy, and I know that. And we can wrap this up on that note.
Yeah, but we're gonna get you into a hive and fix
It's
that.
called immersion therapy. And
we're gonna get you in a suit, so you'll be nice and safe.
I'm
You'll
going to be
gloves.
hyperventilating in the suit. We should probably record that.
Oh,
I will record that,
We're
yeah.
definitely gonna
It's-
record
it's
that.
gonna
To
be
show you, never mind.
We may
What?
even
No.
do a Facebook Live on it.
Yeah. Just to show you
It's not okay.
it's not okay.
I know. It's unreasonable.
And you're passing it down to our children.
That's the worst part.
That is the
that
problem I
I'm
have with
seeing
it.
my behavior at a 5-year-old and I'm thinking,
Not okay.
I know, but if a bee flies by and I don't scream and lose my mind, then I'm just gonna stand there and like shake and like close my eyes and just pray that it goes away.
Which is better than screaming and going nuts. Just saying.
Right, like it's an alligator that's coming straight
Right,
for you.
right.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
It's unhealthy.
Well, we'll get the girls in there too. We'll get the girls in some suits.
Yeah, okay, we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
This will be really fun. We'll have a Craig family day out
Uh-huh.
at the beehive.
Beehives.
Oh, beehive.
And
All right,
that's where we need to end it, right?
Steph is here. Hey, Stephanie. Let's see if anybody else has got any questions. My mom says, I'm surprised you don't have a spoon and a jar of peanut butter on that honey, because that's my thing.
Yeah,
peanut
that's my
butter and
thing
honey.
too. Uh-huh.
So good. We miss you too, Deb. And I think that's probably about it. Sorry if I missed anybody. Austin Burke is here. Austin, this is who I've been wanting you to meet, so I can't wait to make that formal introduction. Hi, Karen. We're happy to see you here. All right. Angelica, yes, these are honey. This is honey from local bees. It's all right here. How far
Right here.
does it go again?
So these hives, depending on what the variety of the honey is, it's Ormond by the Sea to New Smyrna. So local honey is
Local.
considered about 200 miles, but they say 50 miles is great. This is all within a 25
This is
mile
hyper
radius.
local.
Yeah. Yep.
Hyper local. All right. Cheers, to new
Cheers.
ventures. To a great interview. Thanks for
You guys
educating
are
us.
awesome. Thanks for having me.
More than the wild crats.
Is that my cue to
Yeah.
get up and?
Yeah, because I'm the queen bee.
Yeah, I know.
Feed me my, what do I get?
Royal jelly.
Feed me my royal
I've
jelly.
been told.
All right, give it up for
we're never
Erin,
gonna
you
hear
guys.
this, are
We'll
we?
see you next Friday, 11:30. Can't wait.
Bye now.
Now you gotta
Bye.
dance out. You gotta dance your way out.
Yeah, Jenny dance.